My credit card to my Apple Pay was the worst decision I ever made in my entire life. If anybody asks me what is the biggest regret I have in life, it was that shit, bro. Because the way I just... And now I'm in...
Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Erin. So let's not waste no time. Let's go ahead and hop right into this insane credit card debt in the year 2025.
Come with me to make some credit card payments. If you're new here, my name's Kristen and I am over $400,000 in debt. As of this past Saturday, it was 600 and something thousand, but I had $220,000 forgiven by the government for my student loans.
I know that's right, girly.
And I'm working my tail off to help get out of all the other debt. This card had a starting balance of $4,851.72, and we had transferred it to this because it was 0% APR, and I calculated what the monthly payment should be to pay it off in time for the 18 months period, and it came to $232. So that's what we pay every month. So now the payment is, the balance is at just under $4,000. This is our bigger credit card. This starting balance was $10,856.99. Same thing, this was a balance transfer, so it's 0% interest, and that's for 18 months. So I divvied up the months and the payments came to $543. So that's what we've been paying, and now the new balance is $9,227.
To my credit cards. TikTok paid me $993 for views that I accumulated in April of this year. Today is the payout, so we're going to split that up between 3 payouts. We're also going to save some and put some aside for taxes in a high yield savings account. So first and foremost, this is my Chase Slate Edge. I do have a minimum payment of $60 for this due June 1st, but I'm going to put $200 on this credit card. Here we go. This is proof that I've put $200 towards this Slate Edge card, so now the balance will be $5,800. This is my second highest credit card. This is my JetBlue, and it sits at $76.75. So today we're going to make a payment for $275 on this one. And now we are confirmed, $275 put towards my JetBlue card. And finally, this is my highest credit card. This has $15,697.64 on this. This is my Discover card, and I'm going to put a $300 payment on that simply because my minimum due is $309.24, and I want to get that down as close as possible. There we go, $300 paid to my Discover card. Now I am going to take everything else that I've made from TikTok, so that's about $293, and I'm going to put that in a high yield savings account for tax season come April. Yes, you do need to pay taxes when you make an income from TikTok.
Really, for any social media platform that you post on and you're getting paid, you have to pay taxes, even though most people don't think that you have to.
So I always try and put at least a third away. This is about that. Just so that we're ready and prepared. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask, how did you get into so much credit card debt? I took out balance transfers to help pay off some of my student loans, so that's what I'm trying to get down so far. So if you've liked this video, if you want to watch my debt journey, please engage from the bottom up, like, share, comment, repost, all of those things. And
Debt transparency. I am super embarrassed to talk about this, but I figured if it's going to help someone, or it's also going to make someone feel less alone in their finances, I think it's worth posting. I'm 26 years old, living in Seattle, Washington, working a minimum wage job while I'm in esthetician school. I want to get my debt and my credit up because I want to own a business in the future, and I want to be a solo esthetician. I have to get my stuff right before I even get to thinking about opening up a business. So let's break it down. I have 3 credit cards, and I also have some student loans. This is so embarrassing. Okay, this is the credit card with the most amount on it. I owe them $4,363.43. My second credit card, I owe $4,023.15. And then I have another credit card. I tried to access their portal, but I couldn't see, but I'm gonna round up. The last time I checked, I think it was $800, but I'm gonna round up and say that I owe them $1,000. My student debt in total, I owe $7,611.46. So in total, my debt is $16,998.04. My plans on paying this off. I am gonna be door dashing when I can. I am a barista in the morning before school. I usually work from 3 a.m. till anywhere to like 11:30 usually. And I go to school and then I usually DoorDash after. I also have a storage unit that is full to the brim of things, good stuff, that I can sell from my old apartment. Like I have anything from like a Bissell vacuum, a coffee table. I'm gonna try to flip things and sell things on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I hope this video makes other people feel not alone.
I'd love to see that people are at least trying to get out of credit card debt and they're not letting it consume them. There is always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how high your credit card or just overall debt is.
That there are also other people in a lot of debt, and we got this. I believe that I can pay this off, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment down below what you guys want me to post based on my debt-free journey.
How much debt I have. I make $72,000 a year, a lot of which goes towards living expenses because it is expensive to live in the city. But on top of living expenses, I have debt. I have 2 credit cards. First one is at a balance of $4,865. Second one is $3,663. That's a little over $8,500 just in credit card debt. Just in credit card debt. Because I also took out an auto loan. My auto loan is $16,291. That's $24,819 in debt. I only say this because I feel like it's so easy to look at social media and compare yourself, but in reality, everybody is in the trenches. Even if it seems like somebody makes more money than you or has their life together, they probably don't. I'm coming up with a plan to really attack my debt this year, and here's hoping that we can get through it.
Credit card debt, but after yesterday, I'm now $4,258.79 in credit card debt. This is day 23 of the series where I Spark Drive, DoorDash, or Instacart to pay off my credit card debt.
You got this, girly, and this is coming from a former DoorDash girly. Do what you gotta do, pay your debts off so you don't have to worry about it. Just keep in mind, if you ever get to a point where you just like don't want to do it, look at it like it's a means to an end. Like you don't have to do it forever, just until you pay off your credit cards.
But I'm only going to pay off one card right now. On that one, I owe $3,334.51. We're going to probably go to like 12:30 to like 4:30 and see how much we can make. The goal is to make $100 a day or more. Let's get started. I have an order in my trunk right now and it's for $16. This one is for $14. This order in my trunk is for $15. This order in my car right now is for $20. My last order was for $12 and the one I'm on right now is for $30. So I guess I qualified for an incentive. The Spark gave me $24 extra, so I ended up making $158.91. That brings my total debt down to $4,099.88. And on that one card, that puts me at $3,175.60. See y'all on day 24.
31, I'm single, I live alone, and I have $29,445 in credit card debt. I've honestly never said that aloud before, and I'd be lying if I didn't think it was a little embarrassing and also really shameful. 2 credit card, one with Capital One, one with Bank of America. Capital One has the lower balance, so my goal is to make an additional $200 payment a month to Capital One, and then snowball that with the Bank of America one. If all goes to plan and I continue making the additional $200 payments a month, I can have both credit cards paid off by December 2027. I know that's almost 3 years away, and who knows, maybe I will pick up some extra income or figure out a way to pay more towards my debt, but as of right now, $200 is what I can afford. I'm going to pay off this debt by 2027, no ifs, ands, or buts. I've been carrying this debt around, and it's honestly been a huge toll. Barely making the minimum payments, but enough is enough. I need to get this under control. It's honestly consuming my life. No one but to blame but me, but I'm ready to pay this off and be debt-free. Well, with credit card.
Girl, yes, I am in $63,000 worth of debt, and most of that being credit card debt. So let's just get into it. It's Casey. I'm a 30-year-old mom of two who also owns a mini farm, and my husband and I moved to our dream house in 2023, at the end of 2023. And since then, and even before then, I have racked up a ridiculous amount of credit card debt because I like to make myself feel better by buying things that I probably shouldn't. And I was living outside of my means, and I'm terrible with money. Well, I was terrible with money. I'll be the first to admit. So let's just lay all that out right now. I know that this is ridiculous. I know that I've put myself in a really shitty spot, but this is all my fault.
It's good that she's actually taking accountability because a lot of people don't even want to do that much. So there's that.
And I have to take full responsibility. So I am putting myself out there to do these challenges, to do these series, to try to make money off of social media because I know it's possible. I've seen it change people's lives.
So this right here, this $14,058.18 is the amount of credit card debt, along with a few other petty debts that I am in as of March of 2025. And the reason why I am posting this is to hold my damn self accountable and get this shit paid off. Now, I do not want to take out any money from my savings to pay any of this down. My goal is to simply take anything extra that I make, whether that be from my small business, selling anything on Facebook Marketplace, whatever it could be, to get this paid down. And yes, I know that's a lot.
A debt transparency video as a 24-year-old. I'm posting this video because I watch these videos and they make me feel better. So I'm going to share my debt and the way I'm working to pay it off. So the total debt that I owe is $48,619, and it sounds worse than it is, I think. $13,916 of that is on a car loan that I co-signed with my boyfriend, so he pays that. I don't pay any of it. So I'm going to subtract that from our total, which is leaving me personally with $34,703. For that amount, I owe $30,213 on student loans. And that's pretty bad considering I graduated a few years ago and I still am not using my degree. We listen and we don't judge. So if we subtract my student loans from that $34,000, I have $4,490 of debt, which is the debt I'm focusing on right now, and that is between two credit cards I have with Capital One. The first credit card, that's my Quicksilver. It has a $500 balance, and I'm currently at $222 I owe. However, I just paid that completely off yesterday when I got my check. Then I have a larger credit card, that's my Platinum. I currently owe $4,268 out of $5,000. When I got my larger card, I was a freshman in college and they just kept upping my balance and I just wanted to fit in with the girlies, so I was just swiping the card wherever I went. Then after leaving college, I just kind of had a shopping addiction, I'm not gonna lie, I have no defense for myself, and I did not understand the way that credit cards worked. I'm now seeing it, so I'm hoping to pay that one down first because it's the most stressful for me right now. In December, I was invited into the TikTok Shop affiliate program, which is what I've been doing. I'm hoping to use that money to pay off my credit card bill. So far, I've made $2,000, which I think is pretty good in 2 months. So if I can keep that up, I'll be able to pay it off and I can finally breathe again, and then we'll move to my student loans, which is a whole nother story. If you want to help me out, you can go ahead and shop my showcase or watch some of my videos and find something you like and go ahead and buy it. I just made this video for anybody else that's kind of struggling or anyone who feels like they can't get out of their debt. We're gonna do it. Just make sure you know what you're getting into when you get a credit card, especially when you're young, 18. Make sure you look at what you're signing up for so that you don't end up like me at 24.
Let's talk about how much debt I have as a 24-year-old. So I saw somebody else do this and I thought this was like a super interesting video to do. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys how much debt I have. So we're going to start out with the biggest debt that I currently have. So I currently have 2 car notes. So my first car note, I still owe $15,850. And then my second car note, I owe $6,026.92. That's a lot of money.
Okay. I'm going to ask the question since nobody else will. Why exactly do you have 2 car notes? I'm just curious. No judgment.
And then I also have student loans. So believe it or not, I actually went to college for less than a year. Then I dropped out. So I owe $3,364 in student loans. Am I actively paying on those? No, I am not.
All right. You learned your lesson. Now you just have to pay the $3,000 back, and you know next time. If you don't think that you're going to be serious about the school, just don't go. You know, it'll just save you time and money. Just a suggestion.
But nonetheless, it's still debt that I owe. So, yeah. And I currently have 3 credit cards, and across all 3 credit cards, I owe $1,260.91. And then the last thing I owe is like a personal loan that I took out last year sometime, and I currently owe $2,731 on the personal loan. So that brings me to a total of $29,232.83. That's actually freaking crazy. I basically am $30,000 in debt as a 24-year-old. Is that wild? Am I the only one?
Nope. Check out the last clip, girlie. It's not just you, I promise.
Let's talk credit card debt. I want to vomit. I hate that I'm doing this. This is so uncomfortable for me, but I started TikTok because I wanted to contribute financially. I'm a temporary stay-at-home mom. I took the year off from teaching to work on my mental health and to raise my 2 boys. And that obviously has been a financial setback. So me doing TikTok was supposed to help with that, but not including my credit card debt, I feel like I'm not being truthful. Right? So I want to be truthful to you guys. I've been following along other content creators that have been sharing their credit card debt journeys and have found success in sharing that. I want to shout out Lauren Doesn't Spend 2025 because she literally looked me in the eyes last night and said, if you're looking for creative ways to pay off your credit card, post about it on TikTok. So here I am. I have 2 credit cards, and I hate that. I hate that we have 2 credit cards, but it is what it is. The other one was supposed to pay off the other one, and in a perfect world, I wouldn't have spent on the other one, but now we have 2. So I'm going to own up to that. I'm not perfect, but here we go. The 2. One is sitting at $12,115, give or take, obviously with interest and cents. I don't have the exact amount, and I can post that for you guys because I do want to be transparent and I do want to share my journey of paying it off, right? So we're going to include that in my content now. So 12,000, that's been sitting like that for a while. I wish I could say that I am paying that off quicker, but I'm not.
I feel like it's very important for us to be gentle with ourselves. We can only do so much, so don't be hard on yourself about not being able to pay it down, extremely fast. As long as you get it done, that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day. Slow and steady wins the race. Keep that in mind, girlie.
But unfortunately, the one has built up more than I would have liked. I wouldn't like any of it. I would love to not have any of it, but here we are. So the second one is sitting at $6,965, give or take. Again, I can share the exact amount with you guys. But wow, that's a grand total of $19,078, give or take. Yeah, as I'm approaching almost 20 grand in credit card debt, I am desperate and I am willing to try anything. So here we go. Follow along if you want to see how I do paying my credit card off, right? Like I want to share that. I want to share the tips. I want to share the progress. I want to be held accountable. And I really hope 2025 is the year that I say we paid off $20,000 of credit card debt.
Why is it so hard to talk in front of the camera? I don't ever do this. But I am in $120,000 worth of debt. You heard that correctly. But first, if you're new here, let me explain. My name is Kaylin. I've dedicated my page to talk about my debt-free journey, and we're going to get vulnerable. But let me clarify that statement. I used to be in $120,000 worth of debt. I am no longer in that much debt. So what happened? How did we get there? And what do I currently owe combined? I was a part of a lawsuit, Sweet vs. Cardona. You can see the pinned post on my page where a bunch of students got defrauded from a handful of schools. So of that result, $75,000 of student loans was discharged from my credit. So as you can imagine right now, that significantly helped me with my debt-free journey. I only owe $5,000 in student loans, and I plan to pay that off next year. That's not my focus. My focus at this moment is my biggest debt, which is my credit cards. And I don't plan to file bankruptcy. That's not an option. I feel like paying them will help me become financially responsible and literate. And I love my relationships with the credit cards that I have. I have 2 Amexes, 3 with my credit union, and 1 with Apple. Honestly, they're not like little mom and pop starter credit cards. I would have been consolidated them, but that is why I'm not going into bankruptcy or filing bankruptcy, and I don't want that on my credit for 10 years. Despite what the internet says, please do your research. It is not worth it, in my opinion, especially if you can pay it off. So if I had to be honest, like right now, I owe approximately $37,000 in debt. And now I only owe $5,000 in student loans, and it's because I went to a school after the fact and I decided to drop out. Of a result of my discharge, obviously my degree is worthless, which is okay. I'd rather take the discharge. Right now, I used to owe $30,000 in credit cards. I'm down to $26,000, and I plan to pay that off in the next year, hopefully sooner. $7,000 on my car. I don't plan to get a new car once I pay this off, baby. We are right into the wheels fall off, okay? I don't plan to get a new car. I think it's just a terrible investment. I didn't really grow up in a home that had a lot of financial literacy, so as I'm learning as an adult, it comes with its pros and its cons.
My credit card to my Apple Pay was the worst decision I ever made in my entire life. If anybody asks me what is the biggest regret I have in life, it was that shit, bro. Because the way I just... And now I'm...
It's unfortunate that a lot of people is in really deep credit card debt, but I do love to see people are actually trying to get out of the debt. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. It is always light at the end of the tunnel. So if you did make it to the end of today's video, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, and also subscribe down below for more content just like this. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in my next upload. Bye, y'all.